help with your wagon?
Think we'll be alright.
Aye, you betcha. We'll manage.
True, the barrels are ample, but we shall pour some off of each soon.
Change is coming.
True. No denying it.
Nilfgaard flees, yet here it seemed nothing could move them.
Left their wine behind too. That's generous.
Okay, so it did perhaps seem that maybe things were headed in that direction. I was getting that sense based on Emir's tone and Geralt's delivery when he said that Ciri, it seemed, more than anything, just wanted to make peace. Geralt didn't specifically say between Nilfgaard and the North. You know, presumably that most directly applied to the Wild Hunts and everyone on our world here. However, I think that that was, a deliberate wording in that it could have also applied to Nilfgaard, the North, Skellige. And so I think that hit home a bit for Emir. He sort of took that to heart. He heard Geralt say that Ciri, more than anything, wanted for there to be peace, and decided that, you know what? If I can't get Ciri back, the least I can do is honor her last wish and try to promote peace. And so he retreated with Nilfgaard. Appears to be the case. Sure you don't need help, though?
Sure you don't need any help?
I believe we will manage.
Where you headed? Nearest inn by the looks of it.
Yeah. Supposed to meet someone first, at the former campsite of the Nilfgaardians. You take care now.
Roach? Something ends, something begins. Still, go to the ruined fortress. Let's see, where exactly are we right now? Is this White Orchard? Is it? It is. Huh. Strange. Okay. We'll head back. I mean, we've been here before, so I assume there isn't too much for us to loot. We are occasionally seeing some Nilfgaardians come racing by. But I think we just head over. And, I'm kind of in shock a bit. Of course, a lot of things happening all at once here. Ciri does, in fact, appear to be truly gone. But she did appear to succeed in stopping the advancement of the White Frost for everyone, it seems. And possibly forever. In which case, we were saying it at the time. Sacrificing one person for the entire universe? Perhaps. That is, in fact, worth it. Near and dear as Ciri may have been to our heart. Like something's gonna happen here. And then we also were saying that we wanted to, ideally, have the North stand against Nilfgaard and succeed in defending itself, and with Nilfgaard retreating, it does appear as though that may also prove to be the case. So in that regard, that means perhaps...
Or will you stay to welcome Radovid's men?
So we may have gotten, outside of losing Ciri, many of the things that we were aiming to get, but of course that is still tough to take. Losing Ciri like that. And of course, part of me, at least initially, was hoping, well, she's the traveler of time and space. Surely, if anyone can find a way to get herself out of that situation, it'd be her. But, this stage, it's not exactly looking all that probable. Ruined Fortress. Where actually is this now that we've kind of gotten our bearings back here? Oh, okay. Place where, back to the beginning, where we were. Remember all this stuff? I mean, even in The Witcher 1, we started... Where exactly did we start? I mean, technically Kaer Morhen, but then a little village outside of Vizima. It's kind of the same deal here. So in some ways, yeah, even in that respect, if you even include The Witcher 1, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. We could have fast traveled, I suppose, but that feels a little bit out of taste at this point. I think there were Nilfgaardians here previously, so we're gonna suddenly can loot this. And loot it. And previously that would have gotten all the Nilfgaardians mad at us, but presumably... Right, I was expecting maybe Roach, because we heard back when we had right after we'd taken out Radovid, and Siggy was getting all mad at us and saying, okay, well now we have to kill you, Roach, Bess, and Tuller as well, I think. After we stopped him from doing that, because how dare you, nobody touches Roach. Roach then said that, well, Siggy's plan was actually to call off the planned truce, and instead potentially even try to kill Emir. And so I'm guessing that this is us trying to reconvene with Roach and or whoever else was involved in that group. And we can like loot this. Can we actually go there? Can we try jumping that? I mean, I probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't try. Though it does look doable. I just don't know if that's actually the end of the world. So we're gonna try it. That is the wrong button. But I, at the last minute, did get the right button pressed. Okay, and yes, there are, in fact, some things here of note. I swear, every time I spend a long time thinking about, okay, what is the jump button? How am I supposed to do this again? I always accidentally press the punch button instead. And we've, on many occasions, found ourselves doing exactly what just happened there. Okay, so we want the same thing to happen here, except actually jump it. Okay, we're good, we're good. Okay, so who are we going to find here?
Master Ort.
The Nilfgaardian officer who was here before? Long time ago? Why do we actually need to talk to this person?
Back.
Huh? What was that all about?
You're late.
Soldiers.
Blocking the roads, I know. No matter. You have it?
As agreed. 38.5-inch blade. Weight just under 40 ounces. Silver-plated siderite steel core. Glyphs and runes both the length of the blade and on the hilt.
Beautiful.
Been in this trade for 3 decades. Only the best swordsman of the coin for my wares. When I say no witcher has, or ever had, a better weapon, you ought to trust me.
Reputation precedes you, Master Ort. I'd never doubt you.
The inscription, as you asked.
Cyriel, I think.
Cyriel. Swallow.
Classic Elder Speech runes, no styling, simple and precise.
May I?
It is yours. If you'd like to test it, had my lackeys put out a training dummy.
Your payment. Gems only, as requested.
If you've an eye out for work, heard of striggers prowling the Maribor forest.
A strigger,
Yes.
you say?
Need to visit the tavern first, but after, who knows?
Good luck on the path, Witcher.
Alright, so what was that all about? That we got the sword, named after Ciri. After meeting with Emir Var Emrys, Geralt set off to White Orchard where he had agreed to meet someone amidst the ruins of the old castle there. To get the sword, yes. These are the other swords that we picked up when we were jumping across. This, I think we got from Eridan. It's valuable, but probably not something we'd actually end up using. This is the level 1 sword? The one that we just picked up. Not very valuable. Critical hit damage bonus, critical hit chance, those are nice. Bonus experience. But presumably has some other significance above and beyond just that. Huh. But yeah, that's just not exactly what I thought was going to end up happening here. I was expecting more so reconvening with some people that we had been strategizing with first, namely Vess, Roach, other Temerians, and basically figuring out what to do now that Nilfgaard started to retreat. Except that doesn't appear to be the case, of course. So I was not really expecting for this whole special sword thing to happen. But of course, now that there aren't any guards here, just taking a minute to loot the place, because we were not able to do that previously without getting ourselves in trouble. And yeah, some of the stuff is junk, but some of it is not. I'm not sure if we were ever in this spot before. There's a red door there, it seemed? Looked like there was something red. Yeah. Guessing that it's quest related. Hold on. How do we get over there? Can we go through this? Yes. Breakable. Okay. Can we break it from here, though? Yes, we can. Can we jump that from here? This looks like a situation that's good to save before and remind ourselves of the correct jump button. There it is. Whoa! Okay. This may or not have been necessary. Scratched key. Had that glow around it, suggesting that it is for some kind of quest. Or special chest. Just a way to get back through here. Ah, that must have been it. Okay. Sure. I guess. Anything else? Around here, we probably could have just jumped this. Isn't that the same place? I don't know. Anything here? No? Doesn't look like it? Alright, I guess we'll head back. Ooh, and maybe the quick way. One way or the other. How do we get out of here? But, yeah, whoa. All these places where so easily just fall down a very long distance. Like, is that safe to drop down? Or is that very much not safe? Those are trees. But I think that is not safe to drop down. I think we may have trapped ourselves down here, though. No, we've not, thankfully. Okay, I would like to find a safe way out of here. Is that so much to ask? Alright, hold on. I'm going to save again. Because, we may actually need to drop down here. does not look like a good idea, but I'm not really seeing any alternative routes. But we also, like, can't even do this, so maybe we can... I'm trying to parkour our way back up to a different spot, but we're actually legitimately trapped. Garrett won't even climb over this so we can get down, like... Legitimately trapped. Okay. This way. Climb that. Climb this. How did we even get down here to begin with? We drop down from that? Can we art our way through anything here? Can we hop through a window? How did we get here? How did this happen? Here we go. Thank goodness. Okay, enough of that nonsense. I think that's just about everything here to loot as well. We've taken that already. We've gone up here? No, we have not. A chest there. Nope. That is not a ladder. We head back. I think we head back. And Siri had told us that at least when it comes to reconvening with Yennefer after everything is all said and done, also, how the heck do we get out of here? She had said best way to do that would be mark this on our map. Have the game tell us what the most efficient way out of here is. Because this is actually a, well, not the most straightforward place to escape from, apparently. Here's the double doors we're looking for. Okay, that's just what I wanted to find. Yeah, Siri was saying the best thing to do with Yennefer after everything is all said and done would be to just find ourselves an inn and just chill.
Master Witcher, over here. Plenty of blades to try if it's your will. Greetings.
Except, not really. Oh, you did say that you had, set up these dummies so that we could use the new sword if we wanted to. I mean, we could try it, but like we were saying, at least in theory, it is considerably weaker. They're not trying to attack that dude. Just trying to do the thing that you said we should try out. Okay, we swung the sword. One of the... This one's Roach? Roach. Okay, never mind. Apparently we're walking this one. Roach has had enough of that. Or at least once we get a little further away, we can resummon Roach, and Roach will not be chilling over there in a place where she is not so keen on us actually mounting her. Got more drowners there, but that's not really our chief concern at the moment. Ooh.
Fresh trail. Medallion's vibrating. Maybe I should try.
Where is this trail of which you're speaking? I mean, this... We did have something similar to this a while back. I thought that we probably would have completed. Okay, I thought that was loot for a second. It was not. An explosive. Like, we had a quest here. I don't know if we just missed this previously, and this is actually just something from that same quest, or if this is legitimately something new. I am surprised to see ourselves run into something like this in White Orchard of all places. That doesn't sound good, though. That sounds like something a lot bigger than what we would have fought previously in White Orchard, like, say, a big bad basilisk. No, we definitely didn't fight this our first go-round. Level 20-something. You dare get rid of our... When? Oh, 20, or 32, rather. That's pretty big. It's quite big. I saw that coming, but I actually did... Okay, yep. Did not back up far enough. / wanted to make sure that we still got our Igni off. That actually dealt a ton of damage. you're gonna shoot your poisony stuff, and or do some of this. I think it's a little freezy thing again when I try to take Quen. For whatever reason. Odd. Oh, okay, there you are. You're back. Except not for long. We should probably go back to hard. Try to do something like that. We have not yet put on any oils or anything like that to increase our damages. Of course, in theory, would be preferable. I mean, he is level 32, so you know, it is worth doing that probably, right? So, I mean, this is also fitting that it was what? It was a griffin that was the first big enemy that we fought in White Orchard, not a basilisk, so it's a little bit different. I was going to say, again, it could be kind of cyclical in that way if one of the first big enemies we fight is a griffin, and then one of the last ones we fight is also a griffin. That may end up being the case, even now you guys were saying previously that the highest level enemy in the base game is that random griffin that we came across in that remote island in Skellige. But not this one. But we're looking for... Basilisk is hybrid, not beast, right? I think it's a hybrid. Oh, and we have... That's why we're dealing no damage. We still have on the, well, Zerial sword, which is, like we said, it's not ideal. Surprised we dealt as much damage as we did, to tell you the truth. I mean, it was mostly coming from the Igni. Now we're absolutely annihilated. Okay. Comparatively speaking, exponentially more damage. Got experience from it, but in a quest-ish related way, even though this didn't actually update anything on a quest. Do we need a basilisk region for anything? I mean, we've certainly fought a decent amount of basilisks in the past, so I don't think so, but we'll double check here. No, it's Leshen and Doppler are the two that we really need. Yeah. So I'm just gonna start heading back along the pathway now. / toward the main quest, and assume that we've done whatever we needed to do there with the basilisk. That there isn't really anything else for us on that front. Some bees, but you know where we are.
How you like that silver?
Oh. Never mind the fact that you actually do steel weapons, but we are in the bee or the honeycomb selling location. As for whether we'll actually have the chance to stop off at the herbalist to sell that stuff, I mean, we could try. She's actually not far. She's on the way. She's actually on the way. So I suppose we'll do it. It's right here. Problem is she doesn't have a lot of money, so even if she does have great rates, still, can we even talk to her? Oh, we can't even talk to her. Not even allowed to talk to her. Never mind. We will head over. If that deer is fine with us going over, you know. Just had to... But all the deer are trying to stop us. But yeah, who are we? Do we actually know who we're meeting here? I mean, again, I assume that it's some of our close friends, but then again, that was very much not the case in our previous encounter. That's largely why I was so surprised by it. So I would think this would be Yen, probably, would be my #1 guess. But then again, I don't know for certain. I mean, can do this. Do you have a bench as well? Oh! This is to marry her, do you understand? We'll see for how long. We can take this stuff safely now. Or at least it appears. So that's new. And another instance of just places that previously had guards now don't really have guards. This is still wanted honeycombs will pay top coin, large quantities welcome. Ah, I did not see this previously. This actually, I mean, this explains it, right? There's actually a reason why. She's, or at least she states that she is looking for honeycomb more so than other people. So you would have reason to suspect her to pay more for it. Or she said she'll pay more for it.
I will come back for you, I promise.
Yes, if only you'd done half what you promised.
I'll come back and take you to Nilfgaard.
You were to stay here.
So now, Nilfgaardian soldier had a relationship with that peasant, and now Nilfgaard needs to retreat. Is that Roche? Did he just try to take our horse? No, that's his own horse, theoretically. But yeah, because they had built some kind of relationship, and now he has to retreat. And she's like, but you said you would stay. It's like, sorry, I gotta go back.
Bow before your new lord
And protector.
the noble Lord Dagborg assumes his lands to rule with grace and justice.
Dagborg?
Debts, burdens, and encumbrances owed to any other are hereby
I'd
waived.
stay here forever.
It means you must pay taxes to the noble Lord Dagborg.
This Lord Dagborg, who is he? Some relation of the noble we had before.
How am I to know?
Isn't that the name of one of the runestones? Is that a coincidence? We're gonna chat with these guys.
Greetings.
The Duke?
Bow before your new lord.
And protector.
The noble Lord Dagborg assumes
Okay,
his lands
we've
to
already
rule with
heard this
grace
speech.
and justice.
Thank you.
Debts, burdens, and encumbrances owed to any
Okay, Temerians.
You're a hero and all mine. Lucky me.
Laugh if you will, but were it not for your Gordet
Oh. I think I recognize those boots. That I
Is it
did.
done?
Yes,
Did he believe you?
I have no idea.
Nice.
For the cockatrice. And we've a new contract. It won't pay much, but I think it worth the toil.
You've been busy.
Got you a
It's
present.
yours.
It's actually terrible, but it's named after you. I love her eyes. She's like, what? For me? I mean, don't actually use it. Because it's horrendous
A
and all.
witch's sword. Swallow. Ooh. Beautiful. May I?
Not here. You'll have ample opportunity soon enough, Witcher.
Oh, did she technically... She never technically finished her Witcher training, did she? It all got interrupted? So is this
Let's
us?
try it out then.
Is this us giving her that official status? Oh, man! And that appears to be it.
When war ended, the invader from the south achieved complete victory. Robbed of Radovid's tactical genius, the northern realms could not withstand.
Really?
Ymir's countless
But they were saying they were retreating.
black banners appeared over Novigrad and all Redania. Weary of rebel raids, Ymir Varemres conceded, restoring Temerian
Yeah.
as a realm in liege to the Empire.
Okay.
When the guerrillas laid down their arms, the Emperor shifted his forces to other fronts. Through Nilfgaard's victory, Temerians got their country back.
Awesome. That's definitely one of the things we were trying to do.
And proved a consummate trickster. Having dealt with Radovid, Ymir of Varemres did the same with enemies domestic. The The Emperor's loyal spies named all who had conspired against him, traitors, soldiers, and aristocrats alike. Though their mutiny had only been a murky plan, the Emperor showed no mercy, as was his wont. While the continent bled engulfed by war, Skellige bloomed under Ceres's enlightened rule.
Nice.
Unlike those who had come before her, the young queen did not raid foreign shores, looking instead to her people, tending to her land.
I think that's for the
The
best.
island-bound nation prospered, though its fangs of yore were dulled.
I think that's probably still fine.
Cyrilla, Fiona, Ellen, Rhiannon, heir to Nilfgaard's throne, chose the life of a witcher on the path.
Yeah, we got her back after all.
Every skill he possessed, then each set off on their own. Soon word of the ashen-haired witcheress had spread throughout the north, from the Yaruga to the mountains of Kovir. While monarchs moved borders and populations, Geralt and Yennefer lived a
That scene.
quiet life, far from all things political. They breakfasted well afternoon, or often the nod in bed, and passed the
Life
days
goals.
on lazy strolls and long conversations. Boring, you say? Perhaps. But both had sought this more than anything else.
All right, all said and done, I think we achieved all of the big things we were trying to do. We'll head over to the credit scenes, but like I was saying, we were looking to get the Northern Realms to survive the war against Nilfgaard, and it appears as though they have done so, at least Temeria, and that was the key nation we were looking for. Redania and Radovid, who cares? As long as Roach survives, we're fine, right? So, we got that done. We prevented the White Frost from taking over the universe. So, I mean, as for whether that was actually a serious threat or if that was something just to be worried about thousands of years in the future, may not matter, because it does appear as though we have gotten the job done in that regard. Then, for a while there, it looked like perhaps we did lose Ciri in the process in a noble sacrifice, but like I was saying, if anyone could find a way to get herself out of that situation. Oh man, these are flashbacks all the way to The Witcher 2! Some of these other ones might have been Witcher 1 as well. Ooh, I should be paying closer attention to these as well then. Trying to see, like, that looks like... Is that She Who Shall Not Be Named? Possibly. But yeah, so we did in fact get Ciri back as well. Like I was saying, if anyone could escape that dire situation, it would be her. So she found a way to get it done, and we even tricked Emir in the process. But she, in that case, was allowed, or at least found a way to live the life of a Witcher, which I think was always, in many ways, her goal. That's always what she wanted to do. So she was able to save the world and live the life she wanted to live. That's awesome. And then, in terms of Geralt's personal relationships, yeah, we perhaps had a bit of a thing for a little while with Triss, but then when she was running away to, what was it, Kovir on the boat, and we had that limited moment of time in which to say, Triss, I want to try again. Maybe. Sorry, Geralt. No, that's not good enough. And ultimately, that meant that we ended up with Yennefer, and I kind of said it at the time, I think, but I didn't actually have a terribly strong opinion as to which of those two we ended up with, because in some ways, Witcher 1, we actually did have a relationship with Triss, but she was just absolutely terrible to us. Extremely manipulative, and took every single opportunity that she could to stab us in the back and shame us. So she was basically like a ridiculous bully. Then Witcher 2, she became a lot friendlier, and so personality just like took a complete 180, completely changed. And so suddenly felt like, okay, perhaps Triss is not so bad after all, and might not be such a bad thing after all to be in a relationship with her. But then she kind of disappeared for half the game, and so nothing really came of that. And then come The Witcher 3, that kind of put us in a weird place of, well, where does that leave us with Triss? Do we try to pursue something with her? Then again, technically speaking, despite having, in our playthrough, spent far more time with Triss than Yennefer, Yennefer is technically the person that Geralt is supposed to be, air quotes, in a relationship with. So to end up with Yennefer at the end of the day, I think is probably, is fine. It seems as though they were able to live their ideal lives at the end of the day. They were able to go off in quiet town and stay away from the public eye, stay out of politics, which is what Yen had said she wanted to do. And, I mean, Geralt's, I don't know if that's necessarily what his primary objective was, but it worked for him, I think. And it sounds like he is perhaps still doing some witchery stuff with Ciri. So, not that everything has grinded to a complete stop for him, either. But, all that being said, I should note that despite us reaching the end of the base game, or the main game, if you will, there are, of course, still the DLCs. There's still Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, which we will, of course, end up doing. So, we're not done yet. But, I mean, also thinking about what the ramifications are for what ended up happening at the end of our main quest, how that will affect those two DLCs. And like I said, given how we, I think, basically got all the stuff we were trying to make happen, at least from what we can tell here, I think that puts us in a good place to carry on from where we left off. For that reason, I am optimistic for kicking things off there. And for the DLC, I think we will probably end up going straight into that from here. And we can skip the rest of the credits, which we may do just to see if there's anything else that comes after the credit scene. Because at the end of The Witcher 2, actually there's a really significant end credit scene where that was when we saw Nilfgaard crossing the Yaruga and launching that big attack. And up until then, we really didn't even know that was going to happen. We saw Nilfgaard to a certain extent, yes, but there actually weren't many direct hints that they were looking to launch a full-on war. So let's do that. And of course, just to acknowledge that, yes, obviously this game is huge. It took a ton of people to create. And I mean, I remember from watching through the Witcher 2 credits, it was, I mean, just like the languages alone, seeing how many people it takes to make this happen, it's just crazy. So like, we'll probably have like 20 minutes worth of just seeing people's names for all the different languages in which they do the voice acting for this, which is just incredible to see that they're able to pull this stuff off with such a huge team. It's far easier said than done. And I think this music from The Witcher 1 or 2, or rather 3 or 2. So I'm thinking of The Witcher 2 with this music, although maybe I'm overanalyzing that. I don't know. But let's see if there is in fact an end credit scene of any variety or anything that happens after the credits at all. Oh. What do we have here? The story of Geralt of Rivia has come to a close. You can continue traveling the world in search of Witcher contracts and adventure, but everything will be as it was before the game's last chapter, and quests tied to the main storyline will no longer be available. Okay. You've unlocked the ability to start a New Game Plus. To do so, create a new game save, start a new game, choose the New Game Plus option, and select the save you created to import your character. Only saves created after unlocking the New Game Plus option can be used for this purpose. Okay, so let's see. That does, of course, mean that the two big remaining things here are this, Evil's Soft First Touches, which is Hearts of Stone, and then Envoy's Wine Boys, which is the first thing in Blood and Wine. And I think from what you guys were saying before, you were saying that, technically speaking, Hearts of Stone you could actually do before the main quest, or finishing the main quest on the base game, whereas Blood and Wine is definitely supposed to happen after that. And so for that reason, Hearts of Stone definitely should, or at least probably should, happen before we do Blood and Wine. So I think that's what we'll end up doing here. And okay, so we are still level 35, which did happen midway through that the end of the base game. And so given how we sort of rewound the clock based on what the description was saying there, where, you know, everything is as it was before the very end of the last mission, I wasn't sure if that meant that we'd also lose a level in the process or not, although we have not, so that's good. In terms of, like, items, this is the one that we got from Eridan, so we still have that. Okay, so it seems like we still have experience, we still have items that we picked up on that last mission, just that, you know, we can't actually, obviously we can't do that last mission again, and, it's more so, I guess, the state of the world is as it was just before that. So, like, does that mean Nilfgaard is still in the north? Perhaps? Maybe they haven't actually retreated? Not entirely sure, but